Hello, everyone, and good morning, and welcome to this new webinar on how to become a SAS programmer. Most of you may have heard this SAS programming or SAS for the first time, but this is something which we really want you to understand what are the different opportunities for you as a pharma graduate, for you as a life sciences graduate to become a SAS programmer and enter in the corporate world. But before we do that, let me take this opportunity to welcome you everyone for this webinar. This is a part of our all the operations of OPEX. Let me first introduce to you about OPEX. So OPEX is basically an organization which has been approved and recognized by Government of India. As a part of Skill India, we do offer various programs for the different institutions, mainly pharmacy, engineering, and management, where we deliver offline training programs so that we can create industry readiness graduates. Along with that, we do have our own digital courses where we have all these courses along with our industry experts. So we ensure that whatever we deliver, it is as per the industry expectations. So as you can see here, we have array of different courses as per the requirements of any pharmacy graduates. So more on this, you can check out with our website www.opexindia.com. Talking about today's webinar, as you can see, how to become a SAS programmer. This is the topic for today's discussion. I'm Sachin Kumboje and I'm one of the team from OPEX Skill Development, and I take this opportunity to share you about SAS programming, exactly what exactly is SAS programming, how you can become a SAS programmer and enter in the corporate world. But again, before we do that, let's make ensure that you have downloaded our Siri Android application. Yes, Siri is our India's first skilling and hiring blended platform, especially designed and developed for the pharmacy students and professionals, where you can get all the offerings, all the features like online courses, jobs, webinars, smart video based resume builder, skill mapping report, career opportunity courses, mock tests, virtual tour. All these things are available in a single application. So make sure you have downloaded our Siri Android application. Yes. Tomorrow I'll be, live with Lovely Professional University. I'll be, talking with some of the great engineering minds. And in case if you really want to understand entrepreneurship and startups and all about innovation, I invite you to join this particular webinar, which is happening exactly tomorrow. So you can check out the Google Meet link, which is there on my LinkedIn profile. I invite you to join this webinar as well. One more great thing and great news for every one of you. Many of the students have started inquiring about their career confusions. They are looking to have a counseling as far as their career is concerned, as far as their basic questions are concerned, as you can see on the screen. And that's the reason, with due respect, we have organized a live webinar on 26th February this month. Last Sunday we have organized this live webinar especially for the pharmacy students, where I'm going to give you all the insights, the answers to all your confusions. So if you are one of those who are who got confused about his own career, join this free webinar which is happening on 26th February. Now that everyone has joined, let's start with our today's webinar, how to become a SAS programmer. Before I do that, let's first understand what exactly is SAS. So SAS is basically a statistical analysis system. As you can, bifurcate these things like SAS is basically a system. And if this system is there, it is for the analysis, right? What exactly is the analysis? That is about the data. So whatever data we collect, whatever data is being generated, we have a system where we can analyze the entire data, right? Now, as far as this data analysis is concerned, we need to apply statistics. And that's the reason we have this system known as statistical analysis system, and that's nothing but SAS. I hope you are now clear with SAS. Okay. Now, why we need to have this SAS programming, or why we need to understand, or why there is something like SAS, or something, or a system like a SAS. Let's first understand that yes, there is a huge growth in clinical research industry in India. And eventually after COVID-19, eventually after this pandemic, we do have, a rise in number of these CROs, clinical research organizations across our country, where you can see Pune is the hub, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, even Noida. These are the basic hubs where you can see there are, rise in CROs and SMOs, site management organizations as well. So in the last 2 years, as well as in the upcoming 3 years, you can see a mushroom growth of clinical research organizations, a mushroom growth in clinical trials as far as our country is concerned. And same time, there is a rise in technology, data science, data analytics across the globe. I hope you have heard about ChatGPT and Bard and all other, AI based softwares or AI based tools. And this is something which is rising, or this kind of technology is, rising in the world of pharma as well. So pharma is not, that's something, or pharma is, kind of industry where we have to utilize, we have to integrate this technology. So that's the reason clinical research industry, and which is integrated with technology, and that's nothing but the core of this business, the core of this industry, and that's nothing but SAS programming. So SAS programming is one of the, most advanced technology which is being used by clinical research industry. Without SAS programming, they cannot collect the data, they cannot analyze the data, and they cannot, file their molecule or file their application to FDAs. And that's something which is needed by the industry. So you as a pharma graduate, so you as a pharma professional, it is your responsibility to understand, yes, this is something which is happening in clinical research industry. And as a professional, you must understand that yes, SAS programming is an integral part of this area, right? So if you are someone who wish to, become a part of this industry, clinical research related jobs like CRC or CRA, then this knowledge is must, right? And that's the reason, the roles which are there in pharmaceutical industry or in clinical research industry, these are few of the roles. For example, I'll simply give you an insight, not sharing you this point wise description which is easily available on Google as well, but understanding this role of SAS programmer in pharma is very crucial, right? So SAS programmer, what exactly he does, or what exactly she does in this clinical research industry. Okay, see, uh, in clinical research industry, what we do is we do have different molecules, and we go on having the clinical trials of all these molecules, right? So I as a project manager, or maybe I as a clinical research coordinator, I have that authority as well as responsibility to get into the complete process of clinical trials. So in every clinical trial or in every clinical research process, there is a huge data which is being generated. Okay, now what exactly is this data? Data is related with that may be patient's data, that may be dosing data, that may be adverse drug reaction data, that may be anything which is in his diagnostic reports, maybe in his pathology reports, right from all his elements and other results, so that we need to map on everyday basis, right? So in every clinical trial, this data is being generated through this CROs. Okay, as a SAS programmer, my duty is to maintain this data, right? On everyday basis, whatever data is being collected, this is absolutely a digital data. I cannot, directly go and, having this pen and paper and all these typical process which you can see in the hospitals. Of course, at the initial level, you have to do it manually. But the real task of SAS programmer is basically to map this particular data in the software. So through this particular mapping, he is the one who actually analyze the data. And thanks to all these biostatisticians, which or rather who applies different formulas and different mapping tools, so that at the end of the day, as a part of your clinical trial, as a part of your clinical research, you will get an absolute result. And that is something which is the role of a SAS programmer in pharma. Now, talking about this presentation outline, first of all, I'll be sharing you why SAS programming, then what exactly SAS programmer, and the most important part of this webinar, that is how to become a SAS programmer, right? Now, let's first find out why SAS programming, because see, SAS programmer as a job role, SAS programmer as a career opportunity, you can see these are some of the advantages working as a SAS programmer, because see, it is one of the most needed skill today in the job market. If you ask any pharma industry, if you ask any, there are two types of industries like pharma industry and clinical research industry. If you ask pharma industry, then SAP certification or SAP programmer is one of the most needed skill there. And in clinical research industry, SAS programmer is one of the most highly demanded job role in the industry, right? SAP professionals typically earn more package, so that is something which you are probably looking for. Career growth is tremendous, where you have different ladders, right, from associate to manager and team lead. Likewise, career growth is tremendous, and yes, of course, it is in high demand today with many open jobs to fill. What you can do, simply you can just log into naukri.com and you can type SAS programmer or clinical SAS programmer. You can see n number of vacancy positions which are available across industry, because you see we do have a bunch of pharma graduates, right? But we do not have pharma graduates with SAS programmer or SAS certification. So that's the beauty, or that's the difference which you create when you become a SAS programmer after your pharma graduation, which is most needed job role right now. These are few of the top notch companies in the world who are looking for SAS programmer every now and then. You name the company, you name any pharma MNC, they are looking for, you know, a SAS programmer. And yes, they do offer attractive, handsome package as well, where your work is, absolutely based on your intellectuals. And that's the reason these are some of the top-notch companies across the globe who are looking for SAS programmer. Now, after why, let's have a discussion on what. So, what does clinical SAS programmers do? As we have already seen in the last slide. So, SAS programmer, the basic task or the basic role of SAS programmer is to develop different templates, is to maintain this entire data, is to analyze, study, is to get into all these clinical research reports, because unless and until he does this clinical study reports or the mapping or the evaluation of the data, they cannot submit this to the FDA. Because one thing is very sure, unless and until your data has some conclusion, your data is not mapped, it you cannot deliver or you cannot submit this to any of the FDAs for final approval. So that's the fundamental work or job role for SAS programmers, right? Now, after looking into why and what, let's have a look on how to become a clinical SAS programmer. So as you can see here, who can become a SAS programmer? So any BPharm or MPharm or PharmD candidate can acquire the skill of SAS programming, right? Eventually, the other domains like biotech, MBBS, MD, BDS, BHMS, BUMS, BAMS, or even the physiotherapy, MSc, even these are eligible to be a part of SAS programmer, because these are some of the other domains who directly and indirectly work in clinical research industry. So there are three types of certifications which are available globally. You can just Google SAS. You can get into the official website of that SAS software, and even they offer these three different types of certifications. So, basic SAS program is number one certification, advanced SAS program, and clinical data management program. Right here, the first step, as far as base SAS program is concerned, is the first step for SAS Global Certification Program. What exactly is Global Certification Program? See, nowadays, almost every pharmaceutical company on this entire globe, they are using SAS. Mostly they are using SAS. So it's not like if you have a certification today in India, you can eventually work only in India. It's not like that. When you have a SAS global certification, then you can work across the globe, because SAS is same everywhere. SAS is same almost in every country. So this certification ensures that your validation or your skill has been validated to work as a SAS programmer in any pharmaceutical company, right? Number two, the advanced SAS program is basically the one who have crossed or passed the base SAS program, and mostly it covers SQL programming and macros, which is based on data analytics, right? You can remember one thing which even Mukesh Ambani from Reliance Group has said: data is the new oil, right? Forget those days where entire world was relied on the fossil fuel, right? Entire world was fighting for fossil fuel, but now the days are changed. Entire world will in future will fight for data, and that is something which is happening today. And that's the reason you should have additional certifications like this if you really want to succeed, if you want to take your career to the next heights. And that's the reason. Do you have any such kind of certifications which is for the integration of any kind of technology? Maybe you don't have SAS programming, but ensure you do have other certifications which will really you know get the entry to the pharma real world. Because as I said earlier, we do have a bunch of institutions which are offering or which are graduating BPharm and MPharm students every year. But as an industry, or even when I look myself as a recruiter, as far as recruitments are concerned, we see to it whether along with your basic degree, basic graduation, you have additional certification as well. That's something which is very important. And last, clinical data management program. This is something which is basically into healthcare category or pharmaceuticals or CROs and SMOs, which is really require as far as clinical data management is concerned. And that's the reason, uh, if you have a question like, yes, this is something which is applicable for me, yes, I was actually thinking to have my career in clinical research or clinical trials or pharmacovigilance or medical writing or clinical data management. See, if you are one of those who are wishing to have your career in this domain, that's the reason we have brought this particular webinar, and we have brought a solution that how you can become a SAS programmer. And that's the reason now I'm going to share you one of our next upcoming program, that is certified bridge course. That is absolutely a orientation workshop to understand the basic fundamentals of clinical SAS programming. It is now available with OPEX, and we are gearing up this certified bridge course from 15th of February for 3 days. I'll give you all the insights about this certification. Just a minute. Here are all the details about our clinical SAS programming, our the next 3 days industry certified bridge course, which will be live available with us. You can get through all these details on what exactly is this course, why I, as a pharma graduate or a pharma professional, I want to have this particular course. You can get all these details exactly what I'm going to learn in this particular bridge course, which is a live happening live. And the most important part, for this particular certification, we have directly collaborated with the authorized training partner in India, and that is SASTAT Ahmedabad. So SASTAT Ahmedabad is one of the most finest and growing organization which provides training and certifications, all different types of certifications like what you have seen just now, like base, advanced, clinical, everything. And they have available all these courses. They also give you the placement opportunity as well. So more on this, you can just Google SASTAT Ahmedabad, where you can get all these details. But for this certified bridge course, which is happening from 15th of February, we have been collaborated with our industry partner, that is SASTAT. So you will get a certification from OPEX and SASTAT after this particular 3 days workshop. So you can get all these details about this 3 days program on SASTAT, which is happening from 15th of February. The mentor for this SASTAT is the mentor for this particular certified bridge course. We have invited Mr. Manoj Kumar Patel, who is the CEO of SASTAT. So he has been, very vast experience. He has worked 16 years in the companies like Zydus Cadila, Lambda Therapeutics, GVK Biosciences, Quantiles, IQVIA, Bristol, Novartis, and he is by heart and by intellectuals, he is a statistician. So he's going to take you through all the opportunities. Whatever questions you have, you can directly ask in the live program to Manoj Kumar Patel sir, and he is the one who is going to guide you and mentor you as far as your SAS programming or as far as your career in SAS programming is concerned. And that's the reason I strongly, recommend you this particular clinical SAS programming 3 days orientation program, right? This is something which I truly believe that you as a pharma graduate, you as a life sciences student or professional, you should, be participative in this clinical SAS programming. Now, the course fees for this particular program is 1,400, which is the most minimum and most affordable price or course fees if you just Google all these SAS programming courses available in India. And the beauty of this SAS programming course is it is going to happen live. So you have that opportunity to be a part of this clinical SAS programming certification and ask as many doubts, as many concerns, as many questions you have. And that's the reason I, invite you to join for this clinical SAS programming 3 days orientation workshop in SAS programming, which is happening from 15th of February. So if you are someone who is looking or wish to have your career in clinical research, clinical trials, clinical data management, pharmacovigilance, scientific writing, medical writing, data analytics, then this workshop is for you. You can get all these recommendations and all the insights into SAS programming. So consider this course fees as an investment towards your own career. Now the best part of this webinar is we have exclusive offers especially for all these webinar participants. So for this particular clinical SAS programming workshop, if you are registering, if you are enrolling for this particular workshop today before 6 p.m., you are going to get flat 50% discount. So the 700 rupees is the actual course fees for you if you are enrolling today by 6 p.m. If you are enrolling from today to tomorrow, like before tomorrow 6 p.m., you'll be getting 25% off only. And after that, after tomorrow 6 p.m., again, all the participants will have to pay the original regular fees. So that's the opportunity which has been created because you have attended this particular webinar. So make sure you enroll today. You must be a part of our WhatsApp group. You will get all the details about this workshop and a link for the enrollment so that you can enroll for this workshop by today 6 p.m. right? All the details of this clinical SAS programming is available on our official website www.opexindia.com. Now, with this, I take this opportunity to thank each one of you for attending this webinar. You can connect with us through our official website www.opexindia.com. You can connect me on Instagram as sachin.startupcoach, or you can also connect us on Instagram as OPEX India. So even you eventually you can connect me on LinkedIn as well along with Instagram. So see you there, and thank you so much. Let's have a next webinar round on 26th of this February, but make sure that you should participate on our upcoming workshop, that is clinical SAS programming. See you there.